Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. You know what they say about destiny. Dread it, run from it, destiny still arrives. And unfortunately, Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny came with it. I just got back from watching the movie, so I'm gonna give you my quick, honest, spoiler-free thoughts of the film. One thing I need to preface is the fact that I absolutely love the Indiana Jones franchise. Those are just movies that I go to, they're warm, comforting, and they make me fall in love with action, adventure, and filmmaking in general. I even kind of like Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. And when they announced that James Mangold was gonna be directing this movie and this was gonna be Harrison Ford's send-off, salute that man, I was so fucking excited. Finally, after watching Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, which left us with a bad taste in our mouths, at least in my minds, I was anticipating we were going to get a great send-off. And Dial of Destiny is kind of a mixed bag. Like, I think right off the bat, it's definitely better than Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, but it really just depends on your taste too. Because the first thing I noticed, that this felt the least Indiana Jones of all the movies. And that's because James Mangold has a very distinctive style in his filmmaking, whether that be Logan, 3:10 to Yuma, Walk the Line. And for like the first third of this movie, I was feeling the vibes. I was like, okay, we're kind of picking up on how Steven Spielberg made these movies so special. And then it kind of just like shifts into not a completely different movie, but just a different vibe. I feel like this movie is very self-aware and meta. Like, they treat Indiana Jones in this movie how most of the generation treats Indiana Jones the franchise. They try to paint it how we see it in real life. Indy's all alone, he's super pessimistic and grumpy. It was made so evident when he was lecturing, because in the past movies, his classrooms were packed and all of his students had their eyes on him. In this movie, his classroom is half empty and they're not really even paying attention to him. And in a lot of ways, it does echo Logan. But that's not to say that there isn't fun to be had with this movie. The entire opening prologue, which is where you mainly see the de-aged Harrison Ford, I was truly captivated in it. And to me, that's that indie magic. And the de-aging looked really good until he opened his mouth, because then he just kind of sounded old. It was like, how you get paid for doing half the job? But the entire storyline is pretty similar to what we've seen in the past. Some type of artifact leads to some shenanigans, and we got Nazis. I already know a lot of people are going to hate Phoebe Waller-Bridge, and I'll be honest, she was kind of an annoying character, but I thought she was alright. And when we get to that third act, one thing's for sure with this movie, it's going to stay with you. Like, there's going to be some stuff you think about, like metaphorically and psychologically, that at least for me personally has stayed. Now, whether or not I want it to stay or not, I'll leave that up to interpretation. But this one does have a lot of really fun callbacks and Easter eggs to the previous 4 movies, so if you're steeped in Indiana Jones lore, you'll really appreciate those. And I gotta say, the final shot of the movie is chef's kiss. But while for me personally, this movie misses the mark, I think there's still a lot of fun to be had, especially if you're an Indiana Jones fan. And all in all, I'm happy I saw it. I gave it 3 stars on Letterboxd, and I hate snakes. But that like button, and let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. And as always, like and follow for more.